Since yesterday, we have confirmed 49 new cases of COVID-19. This means that 195 cases have now been identified in our province. We suspect up to 11 of these cases may be community transmission, and I want to be clear, 11 total, not 11 of the new cases. However, investigations are continuing, and these numbers will likely change as more information becomes available. As before, it is only Calgary and Edmonton who seem to potentially be implicated by these cases. 10 individuals are now hospitalized, 5 of whom are receiving care in the ICU, which is 3 additional ICU admissions over the past 24 hours. There have been no additional deaths. The good news is that we're now starting to see numbers of Albertans who have recovered from COVID-19. As of today, 3 individuals have been reported to us as recovered. Other developments to celebrate include the hard work of our health teams. One example of innovation in Alberta is the quick training of many medical students to enhance our contact tracing capacity. There is so much hard work going on at the front lines with public health contact tracing, making sure that every one of these new cases is contacted and anyone who was in contact with them while they were symptomatic gets a phone call and instructions on what to do. I want to thank all of those who are tirelessly working at this task because it is this contact tracing that is helping to contain the spread of this virus. We are also incredibly proud of all of the hard work our lab services have been doing. Worldwide, as you heard earlier, Alberta has been conducting among the highest number of tests per capita. I have been hearing from individuals who are waiting to hear their test results, and I want to assure you that Alberta Health Services is doing their best to get back to you. Staff are prioritizing callbacks to individuals who have tested positive for COVID-19, and it sometimes takes longer to return calls to those who have had negative tests. We are continuing to monitor the development of COVID-19 in our communities, to evaluate our public health response, and to make adjustments and implement new measures to ensure that we are all protecting the most vulnerable members of our communities. Today, we are putting additional measures in place at seniors' facilities. Previously, visitors were restricted to family, friends, or paid companions whose care and companionship was necessary for the well-being of a resident. Now, only a single individual from this group who is designated by the resident or a guardian may visit. Each essential visitor must be verified and undergo a health screening prior to entering the facility. This may include a temperature check or a questionnaire. Facilities must have security staff or a greeter to conduct this screening and verify that the visitor is designated. Exceptions to these essential visitor rules will be made for family members to visit a person who is dying, so long as only one visitor enters the facility at a time. These measures will be extremely difficult for residents of seniors' facilities. While they are necessary to protect our seniors and staff who work with them from the spread of COVID-19, there are additional steps we can all take to make this easier on seniors who are affected. One of the most meaningful actions Albertans can take is simply picking up the phone. Even spending just a few minutes on the phone with a senior can go a long way toward reducing feelings of loneliness and isolation. This is especially important for seniors who are living alone, in addition to those who are in residential care facilities. All of us can make regular phone calls with our elder loved ones a part of our new normal. I know that the measures we have put in place continue to strain families, business, and all of Alberta. I must reiterate their importance. If you are feeling sick with fever or cough or even mild cold-like symptoms, you must stay home and away from others. Those who have returned from travel outside the country must stay home for 14 days after their return, even if they are feeling well. Measures such as restrictions on gatherings and closure of the types of businesses that we have previously announced must be followed. And while those who are feeling well and haven't returned from traveling can be out in the community, be sure to wash hands frequently and stay 2 meters away from others as much as possible. My team and I are receiving many questions about applying these measures to people's daily lives. One question has been about whether it is safe to be outside when someone is self-isolating. I want to be clear that there is no danger to others if someone who is self-isolating goes for a walk outside and stays 2 meters away from others. Being outside and active is an important support for health, both physical and mental, and should be encouraged. With respect to other activities, I know under normal circumstances, many Albertans would be gearing up to visit their local farmers markets this weekend. At this point, these markets are in the same category as grocery stores and shopping centres and can remain open. But again, I urge you to practice social distancing and excellent hand hygiene if you leave the house. Another question we have received is about funerals. For those experiencing the loss of a loved one, funerals may still be held, providing there are fewer than 50 attendees. But you must maintain social distancing. Anyone ill, even with mild symptoms, must not attend. I know it is heartbreaking to refrain from hugging loved ones at something as difficult as a funeral. But please trust that these practices, as painful as they are necessary to prevent the spread of this deadly and contagious illness. Finally, I want to share some stories that Albertans have shared with me through my Twitter account on acts of kindness during these extraordinary and trying times. Stories of neighbours taking the pet of someone in self-isolation to the vet so the animal could receive care, organizations going above and beyond to help travelers get home safely, people taping drawings and paper snowflakes to their window to brighten others' days. And I want to thank teachers for their continued work in supporting students' learning. Others are simply reaching out to people who are struggling, whether it is online or over the phone. Albertans are responding to this extraordinary situation in extraordinary ways. Please continue to share your stories using the Alberta Cares hashtag. Continue to take care of each other and yourselves. The importance of self-care in these uncertain, stressful times cannot be overstated.